Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am going to be talking about Trolls, the movie with Anna Kendrick and also with Justin Timberlake. And so I just watched Trolls, and I watched it on Netflix. I watched it as soon as it dropped on Netflix. And this is a Scott Garibay was wrong moment, because when Trolls came out in the movie theater, I literally rolled my eyes. I was like, oh my goodness, are we really here? Are we making a movie about the Trolls that came out, troll toys from the 80s and 90s? I was not hearing it, right? And I was very dismissive of this film, and my daughter went to see it. My second oldest daughter went to see it. She's in junior high, and she was like, oh, it wasn't very good, right? And so I wasn't in no hurry to see it, right? Well, there are movies that I'm just thrilled to see on Netflix for free, and Trolls was one of them. I was like, oh, I'm interested in that enough to watch it for free, and I watched it, and I was 100%. I regret not seeing Trolls in the theater, because this was a fantastic movie. It was a surprisingly good movie. Trolls is a surprisingly good movie with some very, very deep messages and some content that Hollywood does not normally serve up. And it is a really special film. I really, really liked it, and I highly recommend watching Trolls on Netflix. So here's why I liked Trolls. So the biggest reason why I like Trolls is something that I have recently realized, and that is Rhys Darby is one of the top Hollywood professionals today. He's a spectral key. Okay. Spectral key is it's a Dungeons and Dragons term for a special key that unlocks something that nobody else can access, right? And so Rhys Darby is a spectral key for awesome movies and television, okay? So Rhys Darby, I think he's a New Zealander. He's definitely not American. He's from New Zealand. Maybe he's from Australia. I really apologize that I don't know the difference on exactly where he's from. I know that's very American to not know that distinction. My apologies. Rhys Darby is absolutely brilliant. He is a very, very, very funny comedian. And here's some of the stuff he's been in. He was in Flight of the Conchords. That's where I was introduced to him. He played the manager of the Flight of the Conchords. He was just brilliant and funny. He has this deadpan, dry humor, and it's just hysterical. He was also in a great movie called What We Do in the Dark, which was a vampire comedy film, which is as cool as it sounds. Taika Waititi, who is going to be directing Thor Ragnarok, who has directed Thor Ragnarok, brought Rhys Darby into What We Do in the Dark, and he played a werewolf. Rhys Darby is absolutely brilliant. He is so funny, and there's just more and more. He was in Voltron, which is one of the best things you can watch on Netflix. If you've not watched Voltron, watch Voltron and just enjoy Rhys Darby's performance in that. He's just in everything that's awesome, and he's in Trolls as well. And the moment I realized there was a lot of great voice talent in Trolls, and a lot of great music, and a lot of great animation. It is a great film. If you haven't seen Trolls, treat yourself. It is a really wonderful film. And I'm not saying watch it with a kid. You can watch it with your kids, but you don't need to. This movie stands on its own. It's just flat out a good movie, thoroughly good movie. Okay. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I really like Trolls a lot. So Rhys Darby's in there, and when I saw all these great voice talents getting lined up in this film, and I was like, I wonder if Rhys Darby's in here. And sure enough, he showed up. And because I was like, you can't bring together this much great talent and not have Rhys Darby in it. And Rhys Darby is really the spectral key of Hollywood right now. You will find him in the coolest, most wonderful projects going on in Hollywood, and he's really a spectral key. If you just search out his stuff, and you will not be disappointed in anything he's in. He's just super smart and super talented, but his humor and his talent are you need to be a connoisseur to understand it. And so when you see somebody who recognizes the brilliance of Rhys Darby, they have a really good chance of having produced awesome art. So Rhys Darby is just brilliant. I'm a huge fan, and I just really highly recommend you go out and see, or you can just queue up on Netflix and watch Trolls. So the other thing that I think is really cool about Trolls is what's in it. Okay, so one of the things that's in Trolls has a love story between two hideously ugly Bergens, and so of course, you know, it's an animated film, but I feel like this movie presented a love story between two ugly people, and frankly, Hollywood never ever does this. It's just almost unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of in live action. You just never see films about two ugly people, right? And so this movie has has a really wonderful love story between two hideously ugly people, and because it's done so rarely, it's really special. It's just a really special thing in this film, and so I really like it, and it was really fun, and it was just really unusual, right? The other thing that I thought was my favorite character in Trolls is the character of Branch. Branch is a wonderful, wonderful character, and he is just a really cool, dark, character that you find in Trolls. And I am going to keep this spoiler free. But Branch is like one of my new favorite characters, and I really fully understand Branch, and I really dug seeing him in this movie. Branch is a fantastic character, and he is voiced by Justin Timberlake. And Trolls is filled with things that I was dismissive about, and I was wrong. I really felt that Trolls was just not going to be a good film, and I just didn't really get that, this was going to be the way it was going to be, and it was brilliant, and it was very cool, and I really liked it a lot. I highly recommend watching Trolls on Netflix. Thank you.